Obi-Wan, Disney Plus show that just got released, it's kind of bad.
Cheap, poorly directed, poorly executed, or just flat out poorly written.
We need to have a serious talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, also known as the most cringe TV show in recent memory.
Which sounds really ridiculous to say it out loud. Like, why would you make a plot point in an Obi-Wan series to explain that? But we've seen that happen before.
It's getting worse. Just a few days ago, this was at 58%, and now, after episode 4, it's now dropped down to 53%.
Hey, little chonks, welcome back to my weekly summer lake trip. Today, we're going to be talking about Kenobi, aka everyone's favorite space Jesus.
Or so we thought.
Now, it's very clear that the general audience for Kenobi is kind of upset.
The Kenobi series on Disney Plus is an absolute travesty and should not be watched by anyone who has any love for the series.
Mostly because they believe the show is just an example of good old-fashioned bad writing. But it's definitely not, and you all know you can completely trust me. No, I will show you how everything everyone's griping about can be perfectly explained. Perfectly. Like, for instance, you may find it odd that a 10-year-old who can barely run can constantly get away from full-grown adults. But you try running when you clearly just dropped a deuce in your pants. Yep, everyone in this world just has poopy pants. You also may find it hard to believe that a 10-year-old seems to talk the way every 30-year-old wishes they could.
You're scared of him, your father. You want him to like you, so you repeat what he says, even though you don't really know what it means. You think being like him will make people frightened of you, but really, you're the one who's scared. You never made one decision for yourself in your entire life, and you never will.
But don't worry, because the writers added this.
How old are you?
10.
You don't sound like you're 10.
See, by pointing out the bad writing, it makes the bad thing go away. Right?
Right?
Anyways, it's not like they're breaking any pre-established storylines.
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Well, hello there.
Oh, that's just some old shit. Nobody remembers that.
It's fine now.
And speaking of Vader, many people were very upset about his fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but they just don't get it. For instance, people were confused as to why Obi-Wan Kenobi kept running away and then seemingly forget what he was doing until Vader walked up behind him and attacked him again. But the thing is, don't get distracted by Ewan McGregor's beautiful face. Obi-Wan Kenobi in the show is super old. I mean, he's in his 40s.
Ancienta.
So the old man forgets what he's doing or where he's going or anything at all sometimes.
I get confused.
It makes sense. People are also confused at why Vader just let Obi-Wan Kenobi and that droid slowly hobble away and didn't do anything to stop them. And you call yourself a fan. Vader is a burn survivor, okay? He obviously has trauma associated with fire. So all your grumblings about why didn't he just force push the fire away like he did earlier? Or just use the force to pick up Obi-Wan just like earlier? Or literally just walk around the fire? We don't get to decide when our past traumas affect us, you insensitive Wookiee. Clearly, Vader was too scared in the moment to do anything. Also, he probably had poop in his pants. Now, I know there are many other issues people had with the Kenobi series, and I'm going to address every single
one.
Like, how come these stormtroopers didn't know what Kenobi's face looks like, despite his face being everywhere and them actively looking for him? Why did Kenobi spend time disabling this road barrier when he could have just walked around it? If Reva could read minds, why does she spend so much time trying to get people to talk for information?
2,000 years later.
How does this one slap knock out a stormtrooper? How does nobody notice Kenobi and Leia just strolling along in a trench coat through a maximum security area? I know I just listed like 60 to 100 logical inconsistencies in this story, but I have the answer for all of them. Just look at Hayden and Ewan. Aren't they just adorable? Don't you just love them? And you wouldn't want them to be sad now, would you? Would you? Of course you wouldn't. And that's why Kenobi is the best written show
ever.
I think I made my point, and there's no need to ever revisit this topic. Right? Anyways, that's all I got to say about the best written show ever. So thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, you're a real one, and if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hitting that subscribe button not only makes you part of the Chonk family, but it gives you
endless benefits.
And yes, they exist, we just don't talk about them. Don't talk about it.
Seriously, don't.
And if you're already a little chonk, you know what to do. Comment below, hit that like button and that dislike button in that order, and I will see you someplace else. I gotta go pay homage to my supreme leader. Okay, bye.